Claire Smith to ensure that your session runs smoothly. Now I will turn the microphone over to Stephanie Hone, who will read the legislative rules for this session. And these are your legislative rules adopted by the Joint Rules Committee. Thank you very much.
Good morning. As Joanna said, my name is Stephanie Hone, and I'm going to briefly read you the rules. First, proposals may only be amended in committee. Only substantive amendments will be permitted. Proposals may not be amended in committee just to add co-authors. When amendments are proposed by the author, no motion or second is required. Amendments proposed by a committee member need a motion and a second. In either case, amendments are voted on prior to voting on the entire proposal. Proposals may not be amended on the floor of either house. Only proposals which have the unanimous vote, meaning no dissenting votes, of the committee and have not been amended may be placed on the consent calendar. Members are prohibited from asking for a dissenting vote in committee in order to keep a proposal off of the consent calendar. Members are prohibited from asking to have a proposal removed from the consent calendar just to have it debated on the floor. All consent calendar items will be briefly described by the author or the author's designee on the floors of both houses on both days of floor session. A proposal may only be removed from the consent calendar if there is opposition to that proposal. To remove a proposal from the consent calendar, 3 members of the Senate or 5 members of the Assembly must declare their opposition by signing a request to remove that proposal from the consent calendar. Any proposal removed from the consent calendar must be opposed on the floor by the members who signed the removal request. An equal number of members must speak in support of the proposal before there is a call for the vote. No proposal can be voted on unless there is a quorum present. All measures are passed or failed by counting the votes of the majority of those present, 50% plus 1. At the request of the author or any member of the committee shall hold the roll open on any proposal until the adjournment of that committee meeting. No measure requires a 2/3 vote to pass. The California Senior Legislature will follow Robert's Rules of Order in its deliberations on the Assembly and Senate floors. As previously stated, votes will be by majority of those present. No proposal may be gutted or amended in order to reflect an idea not directly related to the original intent of that proposal. It is the author's responsibility to designate another California Senior Legislature member to speak to his or her proposal in his or her absence. In addition, the author may designate a competent person who is not a senior legislator to speak in support of the proposal during committee hearings. The author must advise the Policy Committee Chair hearing the proposal of all designees. Thank you.
Thank you, and we will consider our rules adopted, and we'd like to present you with a certificate and a pin. This is for Joanna. Thank you very much. And Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we need all the help we can get from these attorneys the next couple of days. Next, I think it's time for me to introduce Alice Lowe, our legislative chairperson, and she's the chair of our legislative committee, and she will present some special recognitions honoring the California senior legislators who authored legislative proposals that were accepted. So Alice if you'll come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Fellow CSL members, I'm not tall enough. Every time we have a speaker speaking, then we will give them a certificate of recognition. And those senators or assembly members, they picked up CSL proposals, need to be recognized as well. So that's why every year we give them a certificate of recognition, although we know they will not be here. So that's why we would have people from his or her district to come up to receive the certificate of recognition. Then you will carry it back to your district, and when the legislators coming back to town, holding some sort of event or forum or banquet, whatever, and then you will call his or her district's office and asking to be on the program representing CSL to give them the certificate in front of his or her constituents. And he or she will be happy because, then he or she made something really great. And from CSL viewpoint, we want to encourage him or her to do more. We want to encourage them to pick CSL's proposals again. So it is with this spirit, this year we are going to give all those CSL members from those Senate and Assemblies districts to come up and to receive the certificates of recognition. And I already find out from our roster for AD 17, it's Assembly District 17, that's where Galgiani is. And she had ACR 78, that is Dahlgren's resolution. So that from this AD 17, I found two persons. Then I picked one of them. And one is Joe Cox and one is Richard Dahlgren. So with this, and I will call on Joe Cox coming and standing down below, and line up so that we can have the certificates ready for you. Thank you. The second one is from Assembly District 24. That is Jim Beal's bill, AB 138. Forrest Lopes. Are you here, Forrest? Forrest Lopes. If it's not, Austin Rosero. Would you please come over, have the honor to receive that certificate of recognition. So would you please stand over there. And then it's related with AB 1090, that was Roman Fields. And that is from Assembly District 40. So Richard Shantz, would you please come forward and receive the certificate for him. The following one is AB 332 by Assembly Member Butler. And she is from Assembly District 53. Henry Sorenstein, are you here? Henry. Thank you, Henry. You have the honor to receive the certificate for him. Thank you. For her, Betsy Butler. The following one is SB 33, Lois Walk. that she is from Senate District 5. The person I can identify is Terry Sonnefeld. Terry, are you here? Please come forward. Yes. SB 33 is co-authored by Senator Smithian, and he is from Senate District 11. Bob Jeff, would you please come forward? So Bob and Terry will share a certificate of recognition. And SCR 32 is by Senator Correa, Senate District 34. Jim Levy is the one. Thank you. And there was another one is AB40 Yamada, but the information is in my laptop because we don't have enough time to do PowerPoint presentation. I'm sorry, I don't have that. Thank you, Richard Dahlgren. Okay, with this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I miss anyone? Okay, with this, we are going to give the certificate. I need the help from Claire.
Alice, Bob, did you have something to say to Alice?
I believe she's missing AB 579 from my district, Assemblyman Monty. Is that correct?
Yes, come forward. squeeze in together.
Thank you so much, and I hope all 8 of you know what you are going to do when you go back to the district. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Last but not the least, I want to thank all the Ledge Committee members working hard to push those bills, and I want to thank all of you to be able to put all those things together and cooperative with the certificate of recognition. So may God bless CSL, and wish you have a nice session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. And that's a very important part of our opening ceremonies, because it's the legislative proposals that all of you write, and the adoption and getting them passed by the senators and assembly people of the state that really is what we're all about, and all of those laws eventually help all of us seniors. And I'd like to call upon our session planning chair, Joe Cox, to come up, say a few words, and then see if he has any other program announcements.
It's almost time to eat. Anyway, I really appreciate you being here today and paying attention to a lot of speakers. And I'm very happy, very, very happy to report to you that I have not received any changes to our schedule. Now, there may be some, who knows, but I have not received any, so, you know, that's the first 2 days of our session, and so far we have not had any changes that we had to commit. Don't forget, you may eat upstairs or downstairs. It's something that the Session Planning Committee worked very hard this year, so you have that option. And that was because of your evaluations. Now, let me assure you that our committee meetings for the main meat of this session start at 1 p.m. and the locations are listed on page 13 of your program book. And we look forward to seeing every one of you tonight at 6 p.m. for a no-host reception and dinner later at the Hyatt Regency. So thank you very much. Rick, it's all yours. Thanks.
Let's give Joe and the session planning a big hand. Yes, Evelyn.
I just want to make one comment before I go to lunch. You know these pins that we got this year for 30 years? I really would like to convince Senior Assembly Member Samuel Park, and you all should thank him, because this is his design, and he went and got these done for us.
Yes, Sam, thank you very much, Samuel. It only took us about 2 seconds when we saw that design to approve that pin. That was excellent. And I was a little bit remiss when I started the session today. I forgot to introduce my 2 co-chairs, and Julia Rosenberg is up front, and Jim Levy is where? There he is, right there. I want to thank them for all their work and give them a hand. And as you look through your program book, you'll see a list of other agencies and organizations that work with us, and you'll see the excellent work that Bill Hollabaugh did on the program book with all of the ads. It's a very good resource. Look through it, and if you see any of those guests that we've invited here, take time to go up to them and say hello. I was hoping Governor Brown would be here to speak to us today, but maybe we'll see him at one of our banquets. He has signed some legislation that's beneficial for seniors, and so we want to thank him for that. I was told when I came up here that I needed to end this meeting by 11:30 because there was something else that was going to happen, and I was worried it might take us till 12:30 because we had a few more speakers scheduled that couldn't speak today. But I do want to thank all the speakers that were here and all the legislators that took time out of their schedule to attend our session. And just raise your hand if you'd like to go eat. Oh, seeing none. Okay, I'm going to declare this general session adjourned.